They told me you can't do that here, Beanie. It might sound good in one of your books, but this is a construction site. You can't build a learning environment here. But I didn't start with a touchy-feely feel-good program or some poster. It started with a shelf. One shelf, a few books, a marble, a cricket ball, and a football. That's how you build a learning environment. Not with noise, but with signals. Signals that say, we improve here and we think here. We actually give a about getting better together. Human beings don't just need motivation. They need a purpose, autonomy, and a shot at mastery. When you build that into your environment, your team will grow and they will improve. And what happens next is they start to own the change with you. You want to build your culture? Start with a shelf. All right, so you're probably thinking, what's this hot dog versus not hot dog thing? Our project's too big for this nonsense, to be worried about this. You don't understand how complex we are, Beanie. It's not that simple, Beanie. You know, if I had $1 for every time that someone said to me, it's not that simple, Beanie, I wouldn't be here making this live right now, probably. I'd be lying on a beach in Bali somewhere, or probably Mallorca, or somewhere on a yacht, probably. Here's the thing. For this to work, as Dr. Eli Goldratt said, it must be simple. Somehow we have come to believe that more complicated a problem, the more complicated must be the solution. That is completely idiotic. They're not my words, that's his. The more complex the problem, the more simple must be the solution. So what's this hot dog versus not hot dog nonsense, right? So in theory constraint was built by a physicist called Dr. Eli Goldratt. It's built on physics, funnily enough, given that he was a physicist. There's always one constraint in the system that slows the whole system down. You control the constraint, you control the system. So the reason that I tell the story about hot dog versus not hot dog is because I can tell you that and you'll forget about it. But a hot dog versus not a hot dog, everyone will talk about it, the message will spread and it will stick. That comes from the show Silicon Valley. There's a little Asian guy in there called Jin Yang, and they've got this guy called Eric Buckman's got like a sweatshop for developers, building apps, those sorts of things, okay? So Jin Yang's been working on this app for food. So the idea is it takes a photo of the food and it tells you what the food is. That's what everyone thinks the app's going to do. So it gets to the pitch stage. They're about to go to see the VCs. And they go, show us how it works. And he goes, all right, so I've got plates of food all around the table. He goes, hot dog, takes a photo of the hot dog. And the app goes, hot dog. And they're all like, this is brilliant. We're going to make millions out of this thing. We're ready to pitch it, rah, rah. He goes, all right, show us on the pizza. He goes over and takes a photo of the pizza. And he goes, not a hot dog. And as stupid as that sounds, that's exactly how theory of constraint works. It's either constraint or the priority. And this list of priorities is rubbish. We've got the primary objective, everything else is secondary. So it's either the hot dog, all we're talking about is a hot dog, the constraint, or not the hot dog, not the constraint. Now, I'm going to show you Dr. Alan Bernard, who picked up and carried on with Dr. Eli Goldratt's work, developed something called the Procon Cloud method. It's 5 focusing steps, or actually Dr. Eli Goldratt created the 5 focusing steps. He actually told us, there's one line that he said years and years and years ago. He told us where the constraint always is. I'll play you a video from Christian Bukosis. You know Boo because he's the one that wrote the Afterburner Advantage. This is where the ORCA process comes from. And the ORCA process directly attacks the constraint every single day. And a little loop that we do here. Anyway, watch this video. This is where the constraint is on your site. I can tell you right now.
Was an iPhone, you would not fill 100 years ago, if your brain was an iPhone, you would not fill the storage in your entire lifetime. Today, we fill an iPhone worth of information, we consume it as leaders within a week. In 5 years, you'll consume a full iPhone's worth of storage in a day. What happens when our iPhones become full? What happens to you as a leader if we're constantly bombarded with information? And the third challenge for leaders in the current digital automation era is attention. Can anyone tell me what the average attention span is of a 23-year-old?
Have a guess. Punch it in the comments now. Average attention span for a 23-year-old. Then put what you think your attention span is. Before you go any further, put the two of them in the comments. 2 figures. One's in seconds and one's in minutes. I'll give you a hint.
Their ability to focus on a single task. Who manages a 23-year-old? Who is a 23-year-old? 9 seconds. For the more gentrified people in the audience, those over 40, you can only focus on a single task for a period of 3 minutes. We are literally seeing the homification of the population. Our ability to think critically, the structures of our brain are gradually eroding. And as leaders, we need to find the time to be think actors, not reactors.
Dr. Eli Goldratt said, the constraint in the system, it's not the market, it's not resources, it's not all these other things that we blame. He didn't say that. I made that piece up myself. The constraint in any organisation, on any project, is management's ability to focus, or the lack of it. It's not just the management, it's everyone. Everyone from the tools up. You want to get everyone heading in the same direction. You want to move from the lowest probability, the slowest pace, and the lowest probability of changing to delivering the fastest, flawlessly, with the highest probability. Need everyone to focus. You have to create that focus, which is exactly what. Imagine if there was an app. This is Jin Yang's pitch, right? Imagine that there was an app that, he said, identified food. But imagine there was an app that could find a constraint on your site for us. We can punch the information in and it'll work out exactly where it is. You control the constraint, you control the whole system. You control the flow of the site by managing the constraint. There's 5 steps. I'm going to run you through them right now. And there's actually, and this is one of the first steps that I do. When I come on site, we do a session first, which is like a 2-3 hour session. Split up into 50-minute blocks for 3 hours. We run this pro-con cloud process. 5 focusing steps, okay? So first one, we need to find the constraint. Where is the slowest part of the project that's slowing everything else down? I've told the story previously on a project where we did this. The constraint was hydro testing. That was taking a week or more. As soon as we removed that, we opened the bottleneck, everything else took off. EV went through the roof. Find the constraint. Next, we exploit the constraint. Exactly what we did with the hydro testing. It was taken up to a week. We got down to half a shift. So we maximised the time for hydro testing, the time that it took. Then you got to subordinate everything else to the constraint. Everyone else needs to move at the same speed as the constraint. Okay? I've forgotten. 1, 2, 3, we're in planning. 4th, find the constraint, exploit the constraint, subordinate everything else to the constraint. Don't let inertia become the constraint. So don't get lazy. Because the constraint might move. Then, if you found the slowest point and you speed that up, what we did with the hydro testing, you know what happened next? The constraint was materials. We couldn't get the materials, couldn't feed the materials quick enough for the guys to be able to do the job. That had never been a problem before. Because it was constrained downfield at the hydro testing. Couldn't move any quicker than that. None of these guys could. The structural and mechanical, the piping, commissioning, they're all constrained by that hydro testing process. You find that constraint, your EV will shoot up, straight up. As soon as you alleviate that. Find it, exploit it, subordinate everything else to it. There's one more step which I've forgotten. And then you don't let inertia become the constraint. Don't let doing nothing. You've got to continuously run a POGI, process of ongoing improvement. Doesn't happen once or twice, but this happens by repetition. Hot dog, not hot dog. It's a constraint, or it's not the constraint. It's not really the constraint. It's a problem, but it's not the constraint. You can actually fix something that you think is a constraint and it's not, and cause more problem. We could have got more materials if we'd have gone, all right, the constraint is materials. We could have filled the laydown yard up with more materials. Would have caused more rework, would have caused more double handling, more stuff to get damaged, more lost gear, harder to find. But it made the whole system slower by fixing the problem that wasn't actually the problem at the time. There's always one constraint in the system. Can't believe I've knackered up to 5 steps. That's near enough. If you follow those 4, you'd be doing well. All right, let's move on. What we need to do now is what has become the constraint in the system for me now is our GPT. He's got to the point with this ORCA process, starting to go off track, starting to, I don't know if they call it hallucinate anymore. It's becoming AI slop. What we're going to do is rebuild another one. This is another wingman that I've got, and he is, or she is, able to rebuild us another wingman. Okay, wingman. Nope. Let's go into the right box. We'll be talking to the wrong one. And no, this is not what we want. So this one built me a flex. This is a very specific process that we're using here to build our prompts. I'm not going to go into it, but doing this makes these work way better. Just make sure you've got the right one here. Yes, I'm the wingman you used to build. Okay. Okay, here's the thing. So this is the word vomit part, okay? I want you to step me through this step by step through Ed's process again, because we're building a new ORCA wingman. I've just done the ORCA process 90 days in a row. The first wingman probably lasted about 20, 30 days and it started to go off track. The second one I've used for the second part, got me to the 90 days, but then I got it to do a couple of other tasks for me, and now it started to go off track. We've done some very important work together where we pulled all the transcripts from YouTube, and we've worked out how to improve the process and what the next ORCA wingman should look like. Can you give me a prompt to give to it? So it has a lot of data across 90 days of doing the ORCA. It's identified some patterns, it's identified some improvements, and it's identified where my behavioural shifts across that process. Can you write a prompt to ask it for what you need to be able to build the next ORCA wingman? What else do you need from me? Do you need any other context around this from me to be able to write that prompt? Always ask it a question. Don't just ask it how it's going to do things. Ask it how do you understand this? It's a great video by a guy who's a Stanford professor, funnily enough, teach you how to use AI better in 13 minutes or something like that, I think it is. If you want to, just message me Stanford professor video. That question too, if you're the one who already knows where the job is jammed up before pre-start, where the constraint is, type a hot dog in the comments. Yep, I can write that exact prompt now, and you don't need to give me more context. You've already given me the key constraints. Old ORCA wingman, 90 days of powder pattern. It's now drifting because it's been given other tasks. We're using Ed's process again. Exact constraint, lock, reset. Goal, build ORCA wingman next cleanly. What I need from the old wingman is not a story, it's a spec. What changed over time? Copy and paste this. Okay, so we'll copy that. And we'll go to our ORCA wingman. Give him that prompt. He'll drop prompt out and it'll go back to the other one. Then it'll create a prompt for the new wingman. We'll come back, build a new wingman, and we'll kick on. That's punching everything in there that Ed and I have discussed. And then we're going to test this. Give it a run, see what it does. Come on. It's a big prompt. Big ass prompt. Extraction complete. All right, give me the copy button then. Right. We'll go back to Ed process wingman. Give him that prompt. The other one's just written. Now he'll write a prompt for the next wingman. I'll take a little bit of crunching. Got it. That extraction, exactly what Ed's process needs. It's behavioural specific drift map lock rules. One thing we need to handle cleanly before I drop the prompt. The extraction reflects your personal ORCA stack. Verify full kit, outreach gate, live D, EI, etc. You also said you want a site usable ORCA that doesn't depend on daily lives. So I'm going to give you 2 prompts. Yeah, cool. Because they solve 2 different use cases. ORCA wingman next week, Beanie full edition, uses the 90-day stack and locks drifts. ORCA wingman V next, side edition. Pure ORCA loop. No live, no outreach, no personal rituals. Both are built with the same anti-drift enforcement. I've got to read all this. He's giving me War and Peace here. I'm just going to say that we're happy with that. If you want, I'll write the Walker wingman prompt next. What's Walker? Why is Walker in there? It's ORCA, O-R-C-A. I want the ORCA wingman V1 for me. It's the first thing I need. Can you give me that? Because I'm live and I want to test it. Just give it to me with none of the other nonsense around it. I want it so I could do a clean copy paste into another GPT and run the ORCA process straight up. Right. You'll be very specific with exactly what you want. let's go. New project. ORCA. Phase 2. Paste our prompt in it. Let's get with the business. If you're the one who already knows where the job is jammed up for the first pre-start, type hot dog in the comments. Okay, it is Monday the 23rd of February 2026. This is a new shift and ORCA did run yesterday. See what drift we get here because it's a new one. What is today's single objective? Today's single objective was to rebuild you, the new ORCA wingman. Yes, it was achieved because we're testing you right now, live. What caused that result? I had a very clear plan yesterday. I worked with a couple of other ORCA wingmen to be able to create the prompts quickly. I have a process that I can fall back to that I learned from a guy called Ed Dahl, and I have another GPT that has been stepped through that process. So it's very tight. So it's quick and easy for me to do this. Anyone else trying to work all this out, there's probably a week to 2 weeks work in getting this up and running. But because I've done so much work before and because I've done 90 of 90, I did 90 ORCAs already, I have done the repetitions to build that skill set. This is running a little bit different to the previous ones, but that's good. We can go back. If we don't like it, we can just go back to the one that wrote the prompt and goes, all right, it's doing this. Fix it. It just keeps fixing it. It's doing this. It's not asking me this question. It is asking me that question. Tomorrow's 3 actions are, and you should actually be doing this. You're supposed to tell me what 3 actions are, but you can run off of this for moving forward, okay? So 1 is always do a verify full kit before I start anything. 2 is I do a revenue driving outreach. And 3 is I run my daily life.
Hey, what's up? Feel free to ask me about anything.
Not executable tomorrow rewrite. What do you mean by not executable tomorrow rewrite? That's pretty straightforward. Verify full kit, do an outreach, revenue driving outreach, and run the daily live, L-I-V-E, not life. So this is something obviously that it's not doing well. So I'm gonna have to go back to the other one and go, it didn't give me 3 tasks. We'll do this backwards and forwards a little bit. Okay. Not executable tomorrow. All right, let's go back to Hey wingman, you need to tweak your prompt up. This one's gotten haywire already. It asked me what my 3 daily tasks are for tomorrow. It should know what my 3 daily tasks are for tomorrow, which is verify full kit, the outreach driven off my 3 revenue driving outreach, and run my daily live. So it didn't give me those 3 tasks, and when I give it to it, it goes not executable tomorrow, and it just keeps repeating that. So there's a bug in the system. Can you fix it for us, please? Rewrite the prompt. Again, I need the prompt dropped out so I can just copy paste it and there's nothing else around it. I don't want to get confused by context in the prompt that it doesn't need. Just give me the prompt clean so I can copy paste straight to the other wingman, please. This might take a couple of goes to get this right, which is all good because this is all part of our learning process. So we just go back there and go, instead of me messing around speaking to him, he's already given him a prompt. I told him, you're getting this bit wrong. Get shit together. What are tomorrow's 3 actions? See if it fixes it. So I need to do a verify full kit. I need to run a daily live, a daily ORCA. And I need to do a revenue driving outreach. That is 3. Verify full kit, run a daily live, and do a daily outreach. Trying to get me to stop putting too many tasks in there. Still going good. We have the exact same issue. It's got OCD. It just keeps getting stuck at the 3 daily executables for tomorrow. Can you sort it out, please? This is the last time I'm going to ask you this. When you drop the prompts out, you don't put any other context around it. You make it so I can copy paste the prompt straight into the other wingman. Do you understand that? Confirm before you move ahead. Right, so we should get rid of that problem. Go ahead, write the prompt, please. Righto, let's have another crack. ORCA phase 2. What's this ISO day? Okay. Where's this ISO day come from? ISO, what's that about? Okay. Air process, which are ORCA phase 2. Hang on, I'm in the wrong one. Actually, I'm going to go back. All right, though. Yeah, that's just going to confuse things, okay? We had a process, which is date, new shift. Get rid of the ISO, rewrite the prompt, write it so it's straight copy paste, and get rid of this problem. This is like 3 or 4 times we've had to go at this. Should be a simple fix. We might have to write a new prompt here or start a new day. What we got to here? Let's see if we can move on from here. Drift detected, back to ORCA. What is today's daily execution index? Okay, this is not working. You've completely drifted now. Now you've gone to daily execution index, so you've missed most of the ORCA block. Okay, I'm going to kill this and we're going to start again. Right, we're going to start from the beginning again. New prompt for the wingman. Get right so that the 3 tasks doesn't become an issue. It's gone completely off track now. It's jumped straight to, it bypassed everything and went to the execution index, which is like 2/3 of the ORCA process that it skipped. Write me a completely new prompt, please. So and just copy paste it straight into it and start a new shift with a new one. This is why people never ever get to the point where they've got this running. As soon as they hit this roadblock, the constraint at the minute is that the ORCA wingman's drifting. That's a constraint in the system for me. If I don't stop and fix it, this is what we do in construction all the time. Oh, fuck, we don't have fucking time to deal with that at the minute. Run on and do something else. Run on and do something else, and we never fix the constraint. So we struggle all the time because we never stopped and went, I need to fix the hot dog first. All right. Wingman phase 2, we're going to just go with a new message. Start our process all over again. I had to do this 8 or 10 times, I think, with the first one. Okay, it is 23rd of February 2026. It's a Monday and this is a new shift. Yes. What I would do next is I'll draw this out on the whiteboard. I'll go to this whiteboard over here. Clean this off and then I'll draw it out. Is what I'll do next and go, it makes this problems here, this here, this here, this here, this here. These mistakes until we run it and we get it right. This is probably going to take all week to get this back in sync. Single objective today is to rebuild you, the ORCA wingman. What defines success today is that we can run a successful ORCA session with you live here on LinkedIn. What's been causing our problems so far is drift. You keep not, the prompt that the other AI is dropping out is not good enough to keep you on track. Even this, the way you're doing this at the moment isn't correct. We have to still fix this. All right, so the actions are this. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get a list from the ORCA wingman that I used to get to 90 days of ORCA, of the technical list out of him. I need to draw this out on the whiteboard, each step of the process, so I can see where each time you drift, where you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, so I can correct and rewrite the prompt with another wingman until we get this right, until you are following step for step what you should be doing. This is still okay, this is working, and this is all part of the process, but we need to get this, need to tighten this up. This needs to be bulletproof, right? It needs to be able to get on site so anyone can run this. What is the mission objective? Mission objective at the moment is to become the WHO on the Snow Hydro project as a fractional integrator. This has gone into flex now, so it's way off track. I need to spend some time on this today. Become the WHO on the Snow alignment check. It's today's objective, rebuilding the ORCA wingman to run a clean live ORCA session directly serving that mission. Yes, it most certainly is. Daily executables, extract the full technical step-by-step ORCA process, map the ORCA process live on the whiteboard, run one complete live ORCA session on LinkedIn, hold state active, daily executables are locked, type reset daily executables to regenerate. Wow. This is nothing like what we wanted. Right. Do not pass go. Do not collect $500 until I get this right. That will be me today. Rebuild this tool. Stop and fix it. Otherwise, I'm going to have this problem every morning. Every morning when I go do my ORCA live, it's going to be off on choose your own adventure, doing different things. A problem is the constraint we're trying to fix is focus and communication. All ties together. That's the constraint of the system. We looked at it the other week in a book, Come Up for Air. 4,500 people on the project, opens up 10 million, over 10 million lines of communications, and focus just goes out the window because no one knows what direction we're actually heading in. All right, take it, use it, make it a great week. Don't reach out to that wingman yet. Let me get it sorted. Let me get that straightened out today. If you're the one who already knows where the job is jammed up before the pre-start even kicks off, type hot dog in the comments. And if you're one of these people that I'm looking for the superintendents specifically at the moment for this stealth team that I'm looking to build. That's you, reach out. Or if you know who I should be talking to on the Snowy Hydro project, DM me. Let's have a chat. Speak soon. Let's see if I can find an outro video for you. How about PM capacity? I'll do. Speak soon. I'll do a quick recap on what you need to do to know to be able to work out your PM's capacity. Number one, you need to switch their thinking and know whether he is a task focus, cost focus. So at best, you're getting about 10% value added activity out of him, or whether you're getting someone who's up at this level up here, where you're getting 20% or more value added activity out of him. You know to know how much his context switching. He'd allow buffer in there, that 20% buffer out of his week. Then how much is he context switching? Work out how much he's losing to that. You need to understand what level of shit show that you're running. How much more stress are you adding on top of the constant context switching that he has to deal with? You need to know